Brad, look what he's doing.
We started off strong on the third day, trying to make up for the time that we lost on the first two, so the car was wheeled to the static tech station at 15 to 8, even though it opened at 9. Because, you know, the team was determined to get past static tech to get to dynamic tech, which is like static tech but when the car is running. While they were waiting, a few of us, along with one of our drivers, walked one of the courses, called autocross. It's one lap of this winding course that would earn us the second highest amount of points out of all the dynamic events, so it was crucial that we walked the track beforehand. Well, I guess I didn't really have to be there since I'm not the one driving the car, but I'm emotional support. Yep, that's it. That's what I'm doing here. Right next to that course, we stumbled upon cars that had already passed tech, lucky them, and were practicing for all the dynamic events that opened that day. It's really cool seeing all of the different cars in motion, and of course, you can't forget listening to the sound of engines roaring and tires squealing as cars accelerate in a straight. Still incredibly cool. A few minutes later, around 9 a.m., the team received a text that the car had passed static tech.
Yes, let's go!
The drivers had also passed egress while they were over there, which means they got out of the car with the steering wheel in and seatbelts on in under 5 seconds. Hello.
Do you just sit down and push the brake and it just starts?
Yeah.
But where is
That's
the start button?
weird.
Oh,
Wait, do you
Kevin
know for a
already
fact?
knows.
Yeah, oh, like most of the electric cars do that.
Really?
You don't need to start anything. You just give it electric and...
Oh.
Whoa! Spotify.
Dude, no way.
That's crazy.
Then we rolled the car over to fuel, the first dynamic tech station, but before we got there, we got a surprise visit from Tesla in their Cybertruck. It was cool, knowing that it was all electrically powered and had many safety measures within its structural components, but it's kinda ugly. I mean, that's not what it's built for, but I mean, look at it. Pretty funny. So what were we talking about? Oh yeah, fuel. Yeah, so we got some ethanol from the fuel station. Yep, we're powered by corn, and then headed over to Tilt. Honestly, we were on a roll. Nothing could stop us now. Little did we know, Tilt was gonna get us. So, what happens at Tilt? Well, the car is, as the name implies, tilted to a max angle of 60 degrees, which is quite scary. What they're testing there is to see if fuel leaks from the tank and if the center of gravity of the car is low enough to stop from rolling over in a corner. Simulates a cornering force of, I think 1.7 Gs. Well, turns out it took us 4 attempts. I feel bad for Sam, our driver in the car during the test. You know, he's built different. He's got it.
Okay, watch.
He got through the pain of sitting at 60 degrees. I can't imagine. That's crazy.
They're looking so hard.
Oh, it's coming on. Oh. Yeah!
It was about lunchtime when we headed to the sound station. Our car is a bit loud, which is a bit of a problem, but not as big as having the car fail to start. So we solved that problem, passed sound, and immediately ran into another problem. Well, many problems. The brakes need to be fixed and bled to get them to work properly again. We had an issue with the emergency stop, so the controls and electrical team started fixing that. At this point, we were running out of time because the dynamic tech stations were closing soon, and if we didn't pass dynamic tech, we wouldn't be able to participate in any of the dynamic events, including the endurance event on Saturday, so it was now or never. After taking around 2 hours, I think, to fix everything after sound, we hurried over to the final dynamic tech, brakes. So for this tech, the cars accelerate from the starting line and into the brake zone. The objective is to lock up all the brakes, which is basically making the tires slide on the pavement. Everyone gets 3 tries to pass, but during our turn, we just couldn't get all the brakes to lock up on our first run. I don't know if you can tell from the screen here, but The wind was really strong, which meant that the downforce created by our rear wing was tremendous. This meant that the wheels had more grip, precisely opposite of what we were trying to do. We were trying to lock the wheels up. Well, on the last attempt, one of our rear wing supports snapped because we were accelerating into the wind and the rod couldn't take the amount of force generated. We didn't pass. So to the back of the line we went, desperately trying to fix our wing. Eventually, our aero team lead Isaac fixed the rod, and our other aero team lead Amir reduced the angle of attack for some elements of the rear wing, decreasing the amount of downforce generated. While this was happening, some supporting teammates and I were running all the way down to the paddock and back grabbing tools and other things. The wind was so strong that things were getting in my eyes when I ran into the wind, so I was, of course, wearing my safety glasses again. I was away on one of those trips when the car went into brakes testing for another 3 attempts, and they passed. Yay! So I sprinted to the autocross event, the only one that we could fit in for the day, but it closed too soon. We weren't able to complete any dynamic events that day. Disappointing. But hey, I'm just glad we made it past both techs. And then we headed back. The last day was looming over us. Only one event was offered on that day, endurance.
Yo, I just realized I didn't do an intro to the day. Sad.
Well,
it's okay.
good morning, vlog.
Good morning, vlog. It's the end.
Here's some food. You may be sensing a pattern here. Oh yeah, and I forgot. We made design finals. Yeah! That one's big. Big one right there. Let's go. Woo! Hey guys, it's Saturday, and we were going to do endurance, but it's been delayed currently because of the storm that's coming in really fast. And yeah, so endurance got delayed. We were already running a little bit behind schedule. We didn't get to fuel in time, so we kind of got saved by the weather. But we might not race as soon as we thought. Rain is coming really soon. Clouds are scary. They're coming in, so we gotta move everything back. It started downpouring right before our slot in the endurance event, so we headed into the garages and hung out there for a while. And then we were back at it, pushing the car to fuel, and then the starting line for the endurance event. Then I made my way over to the stands, waiting for our car to start the event and start destroying everybody. So, the endurance event, what is it? Consists of 2 laps on this massive course. 5 laps for one driver, then a 3-minute driver change, and 5 laps for the other driver.
Let's go, Jovan!
We started off pretty strong with Yuvan in the car. I wasn't aware of it, but he said afterwards that some things were wrong with the car right off the bat. I just thought it was cool that our car was running.
Are we stopped?
Yeah, we're stopped.
We're stopped. We're stopped. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Shit.
Can we
That
get
it?
started and keep going? Or are we just out?
Did we like stop on our business? Did you even get out? Is that even?
No, he's not getting out yet.
On the 4th or was it the 5th lap, I can't remember, the car stopped on the back side of the track. Something was wrong. So we stood there waiting for any sign of restarting the car, but nope. A golf cart towed the car off the track, and just like that, we were out. A tragedy for sure, but considering that the car's first turn at speed was during that event, well, it was definitely a learning experience for sure. And that's what the mechanical team lead and team principal reflected upon in their speeches. It was crazy how many teams were there and how animated everyone was about automotive vehicles. Teams were from all over Central and Eastern US, and even ones all the way overseas, like in Germany. That's commitment right there. Everyone had so many different ideas about what to do with their cars, design and manufacturing wise. So many sponsors enthusiastically represented their companies and the amazing features of the cars they had for show. And of course, the team had so many new ideas for what we're going to change next year on the car. Oh, and I felt like I got to know the team a bit more. Such a great experience. Can't wait for next year's comp.
Alright guys, comp has ended and we're leaving. Yes sir. It was a lot of fun. We didn't make it through endurance, so that means we didn't make any or complete any dynamic events, which I don't know, is not ideal, right? But it's my first year, so we'll do better next time. And yeah, we're just heading out of the Michigan International Speedway. It was a really cool event, so I'm glad that I was able to attend this.
And some good news for y'all, we got 5th place for design plan. Let's go. And that's it. What a dedicated team I shared this experience with. We had our mishaps, but it was all a learning experience. All right, that's SEA Car Comp 2022. I'll see you again for 2023.